Hold on to your tiaras, peasants, and prepare for a truth bomb so explosive it'll blow the feathers right off of Piers Morgan's indignation. Dan Wootton, the tabloid's answer to a haunted Victorian doll, has crawled out of his crypt to partner with P-Dina, the YouTube sensation whose research depth makes a puddle look like the Mariana Trench. Together, this hardy boys of hackery claim to have unearthed the scandal of the century about Meghan Markle, a secret so dark, so damning, it will shatter her carefully constructed image forever. What is this career-ending secret? She fancied a bit of love. Yes, forget secret societies or clandestine plots. The real treachery brewing in Meghan's heart as she built a successful career was a deep, feminine, and therefore obviously sinister desire for a romance. The horror, the duplicity. This isn't just a headline, it's a plot twist ripped from a daytime soap opera, investigated with the rigour of a gossip columnist at a village fete. But fear not, for the hour of reckoning is here. We are about to torch this flimsy narrative with the blowtorch of truth, bash these critics with the cudgel of common sense, and make it rain so hard on their pathetic parade that they'll be swept away in a gutter of their own irrelevance. Let's begin. Let's strip away the drama and look at the accusation. Meghan Markle wanted to meet a famous British man. This is spun as a sinister plot, as if having preferences is a crime. Critics paint her as calculating, ambition disguised as affection. But is it so strange to have aspirations in love? Don't we all? Preferring someone successful or from a certain place isn't scandalous, it's human. The real crime is being a modern woman who knows what she wants. The outrage is about her being proactive, not passive. The only thing truly shocking is that this is still considered scandalous in 2025. Manufactured outrage over a perfectly normal desire, nothing more. At the heart of this scandal is the idea that wanting love is somehow manipulative. But seeking connection is one of the most basic human instincts. We celebrate love in art, music, and stories. Why shame someone for seeking it? Criticizing Meghan for wanting a partner is cynical and joyless. It says more about the critics than about her. If she dreamed of meeting a kind, famous man and it happened, where's the crime? It's a modern fairy tale, not a scandal. We should celebrate such stories. They give us hope. Twisting romance into something ugly is a disservice to us all. Watching the commentators is like observing a rare species in the wild. Their behaviour is fascinating, almost ritualistic, as they gather in brightly lit studios, ready to dissect the latest headlines with a mix of anticipation and glee. Each panel discussion becomes a performance, a carefully choreographed dance of opinions and outrage, where every gesture and raised eyebrow is meant to signal just how seriously they take the story at hand. Figures like Piers Morgan and Dan Wootton react with theatrical outrage at every Meghan headline. Their responses are so immediate and intense, it's as if each new development is a personal affront. They lean into the drama, amplifying every detail, ensuring that their voices are the loudest in the room. The more sensational the story, the more animated their reactions become. Their fury is so overblown it borders on parody. Sometimes it's hard to tell if they're genuinely upset or simply playing a part for the cameras. The line between sincere concern and entertainment blurs, leaving viewers to wonder if the outrage is real or just another act in the ongoing media spectacle. They're not just reporting, they're performing, fueling a never-ending cycle of outrage. Why? Because outrage sells. The louder and more dramatic the debate, the higher the ratings. It's a formula that keeps audiences hooked, tuning in day after day to witness the latest round of indignation. Their anger isn't about Meghan's actions, it's about her success and happiness. For many of these commentators, Meghan represents a challenge to the status quo, a woman who refuses to play by the old rules, who dares to carve out her own path in the face of relentless scrutiny. She broke their unwritten rules, and they can't stand it. The idea that someone could step outside the boundaries they've set and still thrive is almost unthinkable to them. It's as if her very existence is a rebuke to the system they uphold. Their criticism is futile, like shouting at the tide. No matter how loudly they protest, the world keeps turning, and Meghan continues to live her life on her own terms. Their outrage crashes against the reality of her independence, dissipating like waves on the shore. Yet they persist, voices hoarse, outrage undiminished. The cycle repeats, day after day, as if sheer persistence might somehow change the outcome. But the only thing that truly changes is the intensity of their performance, growing more desperate with each passing headline. It's a spectacle, but the moral is lost. The original story gets buried beneath layers of commentary and conjecture, leaving viewers with little more than noise and confusion. The real issues are overshadowed by the theatrics of those who claim to inform. In the end, they're angry at a woman for daring to write her own story, and that says everything. Meghan's determination to define her own narrative is both her greatest strength and the source of their endless frustration, a reminder that sometimes the loudest voices are the ones most afraid of change. Such intense outrage tells us little about Meghan, but much about her critics. Their anger is a mirror, reflecting their own anxieties and nostalgia for a world where women knew their place. Meghan represents change, an independent woman writing her own story. The criticism is laced with old prejudices, especially against ambitious women of colour. A man with her drive would be praised. For her, it's twisted into something sinister. The real issue is a refusal to accept that love and ambition can coexist. Their binary view of motivation is the true bombshell. It exposes a lack of imagination and faith in others' goodness. This story isn't about Meghan's character. It's a confession of their own. Let's take a moment to truly celebrate the audacity of wanting more love, more success, more fulfillment, and more meaning in our lives. It's easy to dismiss these desires as wishful thinking, but in reality they are the fuel that propels us forward. Every great achievement, every leap of progress begins with someone daring to want something better, something brighter. Aspiration is the invisible engine that drives progress, innovation, and change. When we shame people for wanting more, we don't just hold them back, we hold back society itself. We shrink the possibilities of what we can become, both individually and together. The critic's message is always the same: don't dream too big, don't step out of line, know your place. They want us to believe that reaching for more is somehow arrogant or ungrateful. But if we look to history, we see that the true heroes, the ones we admire and remember, are those who dared to want more, who refused to accept the limits set for them. Whether it's a scientist searching for answers, an artist expressing a vision, or someone simply seeking love and connection, the story is always about reaching higher, pushing boundaries, and believing in the possibility of something greater. Criticizing Meghan for her aspirations is missing the point entirely. It's not about scandal, it's about the courage to pursue a dream, even when the world is watching and judging. She wanted a fairy tale and found one. That's not something to mock or resent, it's something to be inspired by. Her story reminds us that it's okay to want more, to hope for magic, and to chase after happiness. We should all be so bold, so unafraid to reach for what we truly desire, no matter how impossible it may seem. Life's too short to live by others' narrow rules or to let fear of judgment dictate our dreams. Every moment is a chance to choose courage over conformity. Let the critics rage and the doubters whisper. We know that aspiration is a gift, not a flaw. It's the force that changes lives and shapes the future. Aspiration is the spark that lights up our lives, igniting hope, creativity and resilience in the face of adversity. So let's celebrate ambition in all its forms. That's the real story, the story of daring to dream and having the courage to make those dreams real. After all the noise, here's the truth. A person hoped for love and found it. Everything else is just distraction. The outrage is the sound of people uncomfortable with others' happiness. Next time you hear a bombshell, ask, is this building up or tearing down? Tabloid tales profit from chaos, not truth. Let's focus on what matters: love, ambition, and writing our own stories. We see a woman who has built a life of service, a devoted mother, a supportive wife, an advocate for women's rights and racial justice. But Wootton and P-Dina want you to ignore all of that. They want you to focus on a caricature, a soap opera villainess they've painstakingly constructed from scraps of gossip and whole bolts of misogyny. They are the ones orchestrating a narrative, a tired, sexist and transparently jealous narrative. They tarnish her name with the brush of their own irrelevance. They are the real schemers, and their scheme is falling apart. She Wanted a Romance is the sound of a narrative hitting rock bottom. It's the final, pathetic gasp of a hate machine that's finally run out of fuel. So let it rain. Let the truth pour down on this pathetic parade. Share this video everywhere. Let's show them that their time is up, that we see their game, and we're not playing anymore. The light of what's right isn't just a flicker, it's a spotlight, and it's finally exposing the clowns for what they are.